Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hey, it's Lola here with thesmokingprophet.com, and here is your morning muse. Before I get started on the morning muse, let me just tell you what it's about. I got tired, and I'm tired of seeing inspiration thrown around and people patting you on your back saying, hey, you can do that, and yes, live your dreams, but nobody actually telling you how to do it. So Morning Muse is here to give you some inspiration that's actionable. So I'm going to give you some tools to help encourage, to help motivate. I'm going to share things with you to help inspire you, but it's all to help move you into action so that you can move from the place of thinking about your dreams to actually actualizing your dreams and living out those dreams. If you have not been to thesmokingprophet.com, please go and check it out. On my website, I share all sorts of information to help you do life and to do life better. I have vlogs and blogs on there with my content and the content of others. I talk about all sorts of stuff, spiritual stuff, stuff related to culture, society, current events, and more. So yes, go and check it out. Also join my text list. On my text list, I send out resources, hacks, and hope to help keep you winning, and it's free. You can text the word BLAZE, B-L-A-Z-E, to the number 31996, and I'll connect with you there. So yeah, join the Smoking Prophet community. If you don't have time to really go to my website, that's okay. There's a link on my website to my blog if you want to listen to me and listen to some messages I have. Or you can go to iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or TuneIn and search at Lola Cabaya, L-O-L-A-C-A-B-A-Y-A, and you can find my stuff there. So yeah, go and check it out. Now that we've done all of that, let's go ahead and get into your morning muse. So this week, I did a question of the week, and that's something that I'm regularly putting out on my Instagram account. You can follow me at The Smoking Prophet to find my blog on Instagram. But the question of the week this week is, what is the first step in the path to forgiveness? And this was a question that came up in my life as me and someone else were talking several weeks ago, and we really didn't have an answer at that moment. But last Friday, while I'm just sitting at my desk, which those of you all that follow me know, I kind of call my desk at work like my sweet spot. It's a place where I'm really clear, and I do a lot of thinking there. Like it's not like home being pulled between my family and stuff. I'm just sitting at work, and yeah, I have my work to do, but it's pretty repetitious, so I have time to do a lot of thinking. So we were thinking about this question several weeks ago, me and a friend, and then Friday it popped back up in my head, and I started thinking on it again. So what's the first step on the path of forgiveness? Oddly enough, is forgiving yourself. You need to forgive yourself. Whether the forgiveness that's warranted is an internal forgiveness, like something that you feel like you've done, you've disappointed yourself, you've made a bad decision, or it could be forgiveness that's warranted towards someone else. It can be an external forgiveness. Either way, you got to forgive yourself. You need to start by examining the whole situation. Examine the need for forgiveness. Examine any unforgiveness that's there. How does the situation make you feel? Think about that. Are you upset? Yeah, you're upset, but are you mad? Are you hurting? Are you sad? Are you disappointed? Whatever you feel, own it. Own it. Own that emotion, and then move forward. This makes room and open space for you to forgive yourself, for you to ask others for forgiveness when necessary, and for you to even forgive others. Accountability is necessary. Like, we have to be accountable to ourselves when it comes to our emotions. Like, I got to be accountable for my own emotions. Like, I got upset with someone recently, and it came down to me like having to forgive them. And the way I was able to quickly move to a point of forgiveness with them is like, I was like, why are you upset? And the reason I was upset is because I was disappointed at the decision I really made. Because I made a decision that caused us to get into a situation where they had an opportunity to disappoint me. So I was really, really upset with myself. So what I did first was like forgive myself. And then from there, like, it allowed me to be empathetic. You know what I'm saying? And it brought me to a point of where I could say to them, hey, I forgive you. And I said it very quickly. In the matter of like 10 minutes, I did all of this in my head. I was like, hey, I forgive you. And that's it. Now let's move on. I might get mad at you tomorrow. You might let me down, you know, in the next couple of minutes. But we'll work it out and go from there. So, yeah, accountability is necessary. It leads you to make better decisions. Like for me, I'm going to make a better decision moving forward. It brings you to a place of where you can actually experience genuine empathy. And when you can experience genuine empathy, it's easier to forgive people. And it also brings you to a place of remorse. So if you've done something wrong and you think about the situation and the need for forgiveness, and then you begin to think about, wow, what I did was really messed up, it can bring you into a place of where you actually feel remorse, where you actually feel like, hey, what I did was really wrong. Let me go and apologize, if the situation will allow it. And we all want to get to that place, right? So now that you've done this, now that we've kind of answered that question, what's the first step on the path of forgiveness? It's you forgiving yourself. It's us examining the situation. It's us owning our emotions. And it's us actually getting to a place of where we feel empathy, where we feel remorse if necessary, where we're owning it so that we can actually forgive ourselves and forgive others. We can actually get into the application part. So forgiving yourself, this is the easiest one. We're going to go over forgiving others next, but let's go ahead and deal with this now. So forgiving yourself, look at it this way. Periodically, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make bad decisions. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It's unavoidable. Things like this happen. And when it happens, resolve within yourself that you're going to forgive yourself. And if necessary, you're going to ask others for forgiveness. So if you've impacted someone else based on something you've done, and it's appropriate for you to go and contact them and apologize, then do that. Some situations it's not appropriate, and we won't get into all of that. But some situations you just may not be able to. The person may be unreachable, you know, they may be deceased, what have you. You may not have the contact information, but if the situation affords it and you can, then, you know, apologize, make amends, forgive yourself, and ask others to forgive you, and do it as quickly as possible. The more time you allow to sit, the more opportunity you allow your emotions to come in and kind of stop you from asking for forgiveness if you need to, or your emotions may come in and be like, you don't have to forgive, and really you should forgive because it humbles your soul. Okay? All right, so the next thing is forgiving others. Quick application for this. I'm actually going to give you 5 steps. Really, really easy steps. 5 steps to help you forgive. This helped me. So the first step is don't just say you forgive. Speak forgiveness. Every time you think about the situation, every time that hurt comes to mind, anger comes to mind over the situation, disappointment, whatever emotion you feel, when you think about the situation or when that person's name is mentioned, you think about their name and there's like a piercing in your heart, or like your stomach feels like somebody just kicked you in it, or maybe you feel like you gotta throw up. Anytime you start feeling like that, just open up your mouth and confess, I forgive this person, and actually state their name. So say, I forgive whoever it is, and state their name. Anytime you feel that, do that. And know that when you forgive others, God is actually like pumping and pressing the prime to forgive you. So you want to do it. And that can be found in Mark chapter 11, verses 25 through 26. The second step is bless those that hurt you. after you make this open confession of forgiveness, after you open up your mouth and you say, I forgive whoever, go ahead and begin to speak blessings over them. Begin to pray for them. Begin to say great things. Ask God for great things to happen in their life. Ask God to help them live their best life. Ask Him to do that. When you can do that, and when you start to do that, you can't stay in a place of where you feel a disgust for a person or you're holding something against a person. And if you don't know what to pray, just open up the Bible and begin to pray the promises of God over that person. Begin to pray the blessings of God over that person. All right? So the third thing, be like Jesus by learning from Jesus. So I went through a situation where I was hurt really, really bad by some people that were very close to me, and I didn't expect it at all. And God had to give me these strategies. And one thing that He told me to do was like, go back and read the Gospels. The Gospels are in the Bible. They're Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But He was like, read about me to become like me. You know, and in the Gospels, you're hearing directly from Jesus, His words. You're hearing accounts about Him, so other people's perspective on His life and the things that He did. But the more you read about His teachings, the more you can become like Him. The more merciful you can become, gracious you can become, kind you can become. Jesus was not a punk by any means. He was definitely one that was strong and stood up for what was right, but He was also very kind, very loving, very gentle, and that's something that you need in order to move through forgiveness. All right, so the fourth thing is don't retaliate. So on our 5 steps to forgive, you don't need to retaliate. If somebody does something to you, don't fight them back. Don't do that. That'll just make the situation worse. Instead, entrust yourself to God. He's the one that judges justly. He'll make sure you're taken care of. That's His job as a good father, as a righteous judge. He's going to make sure you're taken care of. So don't do that. Don't retaliate, and definitely don't, ask God to bring judgment on people on your behalf. God desires mercy. Mercy actually triumphs over judgment. Mercy means so much more than judgment for God because He sent Jesus Christ. So He desires that people would come to know Him versus Him having to go punish people. So yeah, don't do all of that stuff. And you can find a good scripture to support that in 1 Peter 2:23. So the last thing, 5 steps to forgive, we're at number 5, is be humble and be meek. In humility, ask God, think about it, if you were wrong. So in your path of forgiving others, ask, was I wrong? It's okay to ask. In humility, ask that. Ask if you've done anything wrong, or if your heart is deceiving you, if your emotions are deceiving you, if your mind's deceiving you, and ask God to give you wisdom to judge the situation justly. And remember this, in some instances you won't be wrong, and sometimes you'll just need to apologize. And if you do, it's okay. You should exercise apologizing, actually, because it humbles your soul. All right, so here's a prayer I just want to give you guys really, really quickly. And I'm also going to share a link with you so that you can go and find these 5 steps to forgive on thesmokingprophet.com. But here's just a quick prayer. Father, I thank you for your forgiveness today. I thank you for the mercy and compassion you have shown me. I am grateful for your love today. Please forgive me for holding any unforgiveness in my heart towards, say the names. I forgive. Say the names again. I renounce every root of bitterness, every hurt, every bit of rejection from my life, and ask that you fill me with your love, your mercy, and your compassion in Jesus' name. So if you want, you can go ahead and find these 5 steps to forgive others at bit.ly/best way to forgive. Again, that's bit.ly/best, BEST way, WAY, to forgive, FORGIVE. Again, thanks for tuning in to Your Morning Muse. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay connected with me and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also connect with me on social media at Lola, LOLA, Cabaya, CABAYA.